started with an echo that shook the leaves of the mango trees. And everywhere the people looked yielded no answer to where this sound was coming from. The children listened, and some of them went down to the river to see if the earth had opened its mouth and had swallowed the rapids and now burps from its core. The old man in the shack on the hill also heard the sound, but did nothing except close his eyes. The third wife of the chief unstrapped baby Ayodele from her back and placed him on the ground. Baby Ayodele heard the sound, rolled onto his stomach, crept on all fours, down a hill, over a river, and stopped at a big rock where he met the sparkling eyes of a golden goat. With a smile, Ayodele stared at the goat's udder, then stretched his hands out to the goat. Ayodele crept beneath the goat's udder and slowly drifted asleep as he quietly suckled on its teats. The two Orishas, Oye and Yamaye, saw Ayodele suckling. How could the chief's wife be so careless to let Ayodele stray so far that a goat has to feed him? Asked Oye. Yamaye said, "This is no ordinary goat. Only a mother would give her milk straight from her breast." They both realized that the golden goat was the lost mother of Ayodele. "Let us teach the chief's wife a lesson," said Yamaye, "and turn Ayodele into a magnificent drum that all will hear and remember the love between mother and son. Then we will send a dream to Bendele, the drum maker, who was born away from home, to present the drum to the chief." In a diamond-filled black sky, the laughing waves of oceans of which you will cross. A drum that sits at the edge of a river, beside a big rock, a rockabye baby drum you will play. Bendele awoke with a smile on his face and confusion in his mind. He was not sure what his dream meant, but he was certain it was from the Orishas. As he was washing his face in the stream next to his home, he looked up and saw the golden goat across the stream. The goat was crying with such lament that Bendele's heart began to weep, 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 weep. He asked the goat what was wrong. The goat said, in its own tongue, that its only son had become a drum. As she ran into the bushes, her mournful cry faded away. Bandeli went down to the river, and behold, the most magnificent drum he had ever seen. He looked around and saw no one. It then occurred to him that this was surely the work of the Orishas. He headed for the chief's house, for a drum so magnificent must belong to the chief. On his way to the chief's house, Bandeli ran into the chief's third wife, who was oblivious to him, and crying out, "Has anyone seen my son, my flesh, my blood, my only one? Has anybody seen my son, my flesh, my blood, my only one?" Bandeli tried to reach out to her, but his hands were stuck. They would not leave the drum. When he arrived to the chief's house, there was a crowd of people circling the chief as he painfully announced the disappearance of his son. Bandeli walked towards the crowd, and every face turned and stared at the pure radiance of the drum Bandeli had in his hands. Bandeli went before the chief and said, "I present the most beautiful drum that land and life and spirit have created for you." The chief looked at the drum, and tears of joy flowed from his eyes. He then said, "Whosoever can play this drum shall find my son and inherit the land on which he is found." Instantly there was chatter among the crowd. Then a young man stepped forward. He was the son of a herdsman. He picked up the drum and started beating it in a loud and obscene manner that was deafening. The chief raised his staff, and the drummer stopped. Another person picked up the drum. This time it was the wife of the blacksmith. By then, half the crowd had left. She gently stroked the surface of the drum. Then her hands started to shake wildly, and the only thing that could be heard for miles was her scream, mixed with the offbeat cadence of the drum. It was so unbearable to hear that a man ran up a tree while others fled for their lives. Even a young girl leaped out of her slippers and ran. The chief raised his staff, and the woman stopped. The chief turned to Bandeli and said, "What bad fortune have you brought me? My tribe has fled, and my son cannot be found." Bandeli picked up the drum and caressed it with one hand. Then with the other, a smile grazed his face. Bandeli's hand began to move rhythmically as the sweet sounds of harvest music came from the drum. The tribe came back, was coming back together as if there was a festival celebration happening. It was then that the chief turned to Bandeli and said, "Bandeli, it is you who was born away from home, and it is you who shall set out into the world to summon all the people with your drum and find my son." From that day forth, Bandeli has been walking the earth, playing the drum that is a yodele to millions of people who dance with joy. But every now and then, they still hear the hollers of a little boy was far from his mother.
Can you feel the jembe? 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 Flesh meshed with flesh. The wooden base of ebony, mahogany, and many other hardwoods are strapped together to sing. There's no greater sound than skin to skin. The life within the circle of intimate lives, carrying yet another circle of infinite lives that give life. There's no greater sound than skin to skin. Together we have traveled long, and we have traveled far. We have traveled in the ebb and flow of musky rooms. We have intercoursed in crowded concert halls that felt like tombs. We are djembes in motion, and the drummer's feet willingly follows. Behold the road with pit stops in rooms that trap the echoes of our hearts. There is no greater sound. There is no greater sound. Yes, there is no greater sound than skin to skin. Tonight we'll dream of home and the strong hands that felt our vibrations reverberate in rainbows, igniting crystals with the color of sound, our sound. Tonight we'll take the promise of a new day and have it hold our shaft and stroke our skin as hard as it should, for the stretch marks of time not only shows where we have been, but how much we can endure. Yes, there is no greater sound than skin to skin. Indeed, we have seen many hands, some as soft and fleshy as the inside of a young coconut, some as hard and cracked as the back of a crocodile. We have no preference so long as every hand is connected to an open heart for us to go in and dance, life's dance. For it is only when we dance that we dream, and it's only when we dream that we become one with the spirit again and again. Yes, there is no greater sound than skin to skin. With each blow we cry out for the drummer to drum harder, cry out to ripple the oceans of emotions that we are slowly slipping into. Many ears hear us, some hearts even feel us, but it's between these cries that we hear the sighs of our creators creep into the cavern of our constitution, where they scribed questions in us, so that we will always be on a quest to intimate these questions to the farthest ear, in the highest ether. So you see, the creators of our creators must hear our questions, or else our creators' wishes are lost. Tired hands disappear in the absence of questions in djembes, just as a chief is no longer a chief when he passes his wisdom on his last day. There is no greater sound. Yes, There is no greater sound than skin to skin. Hold us tight with all your might, and we will take you beyond the crowds that fill these hollow temples, of which time will make more familiar the laughter of the villages from where we came. Strike us like thunder, and we will baptize all with the cleansing shower of sound. We've been played by raindrops, tears for many years past, and fast forging, pitter-pattering, drop dripping, rhythms, rhythms, rhythms that make stone statues stand and smile, for only we can move them, groove them, bring them out of their shells of confinement to witness the wonder of skin to skin, saying, oh yes, there is no greater sound than skin to skin. One day our skin will extend so far that no one will be able to distinguish land and sea from we jembes. Yes, we have traveled far from the heaven-bound hills and the barren plains to realize that the miracle of spirits is such that we will find what we came to find without ever forgetting what we left behind. From the center out, we are jembes. We praise flesh to flesh, for there is no greater sound than skin to skin. Slap.
That he was filled with joy to find out the spiritual significance the goat had to the life of his tribe. In local news, scientists and historians agree that the widespread embrace of African culture has created an impact so great that by the year 2010, Canada will be a cultural mirror reflection of the African continent. With more on this phenomenon, we have Melinda Leung reporting from Newfoundland.
The drama that drove my soul, shooting out of my skin, straight into the cosmos to be with ancestral kin. Drummers, howdy do, and how your hands just flap, moving mountains with the beat of bass, tone, and slap. Drummers, wail, drummers, wail, drummers, wail like the subterranean night-colored magi that sits in the womb of the drum, in the womb of the drum, in the womb of the drum, in the womb of the drum. Drummers, let them know that power to the drum is power to the people, and power to the drum was never gone. Drummers, have mercy on the feet that float to find the beat. Drummers, airbrush the breeze that blows past my ears and drop ruthless rhythms in them. Drummers, be aware. Drummers, be aware that at the top of the tempo there is a temple for the little drummer boy. Yes, the little drummer boy that played. Oh, budum ba budum ba ba budum ba budum 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 budum. Drummers the drum is used as a medium to summon the spirits during rituals of rebirth and rites of self-worth. Drummers, the herdsmen of the sun, are calling. They are calling. They are calling. They are calling from all that twinkles in the black sky. They are calling us to join the universal drum of drums, pounding from every corner of the cosmos. Drummers, drum me a sound that upstages the wind that whirls in my wallet. Drummers, pick apart the beat that bridges the borders. Drummers, fasten the force of the familiar to your fists and behold the echo of space where time talks to itself in budum, 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 budum. Drummers, you are the heart of the earth, the pulse of the universe, the metronome for meteorites, the message and the means to all that is heard but never seen. Drummers, take me home. Drummers, take me back to when rhythms didn't always rhyme, but there was always a magic that kept us on time. Oh, 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 oh. Drummers, take me back to that peaceful place where the sounds of babbling brooks are bent by the wheeze of drums on breeze. I'll take care with me as you take me back to the tribes of Kush, Mandingo, Ashanti, and Dagara. Drummers, drum me a dream across plains of pain. Make me blink and link with you again and again. Drummers, you are the guiding star and the lodestone that seeps into the cracks of the bowels of my being, flirting with my soul, making me whole, so that the only thing I hear is the drum. But I not only hear, I feel the drum. I feel the drum. I feel the drum. I feel the drum. Drummers, 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 take a bow.